Okay, so that has dried off a bit. In between time I have been cutting lots of die cut elements from this collection. I've got them all to the side there. They were in neat piles, and I have been making a few different cards with them, which I can possibly just briefly show you. But yeah, I've been making some cards with them while watching Our Dawn. It was Dawn and Julia Create tonight as I'm filming this. So as I was making some cards, I was watching our lovely Dawn, and she knocked it out the park as she always does. Yeah, I just thought a little bit of added texture would be quite nice. So I'm just going to add in a couple of little bits, and then I think I'm going to add some of the die cut elements now and glue them down, and then gesso over all of that, because that's all just going to be texture, and then we'll work out how we're going to make it a feature, what we're going to put on it for feature. So this new range, it's funny, I am finding it quite a challenge. The stuff is absolutely lovely. I love it. But I'm so used to having a feature element. My style of crafting has always got some sort of feature image. So this new range, we have some stencils and some dies, and that's it. No stamps. There are going to be stamps on the show, and it's going to be the texture ones that I had on last time. But yeah, so it's just a little bit different for me, and I am definitely feeling challenged, but I do always like a challenge. So I'm just going to go with it, and everything's going to be fine. Actually, I would find that a bit sparse, so I'm going to put those three together, and then let's maybe get another bit here. Yeah, so that's kind of what I enjoy about the Dawn and Julia Creates and the Take 5s, that I'm very often challenged and out of my comfort zone as I'm working. And this is the thing when you're prepping stuff for TV as well, that you can only really use what's going to be on the show. So you can't necessarily, other than like maybe extra mediums, you can't necessarily sort of go where you would normally go. Right, I think before I do that, I'm going to stick this down along here. As I said, all of this will sort of be covered, and it's just going to add an extra element of texture when we get a bit of gesso on there. That's sort of gone a bit heavy-handed there. That maybe wasn't ideal, but hey ho, it'll all be alright. Right, oops. And I went heavy-handed on the last one, and then because of that I've gone too canny on this one. Just got paint over it, that's fine. It's all going to get covered in gesso anyway, so it neither here nor there. Right, let's stick some of this down, like so. And we'll build, as I said, I might just neaten off some of the edges, because obviously we are sort of almost working on a frame. It's a bit different, I've not done anything like with the actual bit before. So it's the first time for everything. So we've got that, that's looking quite nice, isn't it? I like the little extra detail that gives. That is pretty cool. And I think I like that. So, I wonder if, I think because it's quite thin, even though we've used gel medium, I think we'll get away with sort of moving on to the gesso stage, to be honest. I'm just going to neaten this up. I don't mind things overhanging a little bit, but on this occasion I quite like the fact that we're working with what do you call it, working with that frame. It is currently 9 o'clock at night, and it seems like my brain has ceased to function. It can no longer find words. It's struggling with the old language malarkey. Right. Oh, look at that. This is one thing that I love about 13 Arts Gesso, is it is so thick that you get such a even opaque coverage straight away. It's just a bit awesome. I am thinking once this is dry, I shall maybe get one of the stencils again and go over it with some crackle gel. I don't know whether to do that. I might actually put crackle gel on another project I'm working on. Okay. Let's get this all in there. That's fab. I do love 13 Arts Gesso, it's just a bit brilliant. Oh, I can't decide whether to do an overlay of crackle gel or not. Decisions, decisions. I'm thinking possibly not actually. I'm thinking that that might suit my big project. See, I'm working on another project here, so which goes up first on my channel I don't know, but I'm working on a project here at the same time. So actually the crackle gel might work really well on that. I think that one's going to be a much more grungy. I think I'm going to go pretty in this because we've got some nice hearts in the paper, in the papers. So I'm thinking we could maybe go a little bit of pretty paint colours and maybe some souffle for this one. Right, let's. What I'm going to do is just give that a waft, give that a couple more coats, and then be back with you when we're at the colouring. Let that dry off, and I've pulled out my new spray. Woo, Kitsch Flamingo! I've not used this one before. And I've got some pumice stone as well because I'm kind of thinking a really soft, romantic look for this. So I think what I've done is I always like to spray on things. So I've got a journal page that has just got bits and pieces on. This is actually one of Emma's papers that's in the collection. I've already used it to mop up some watercolour, but so it's just like I would build a background. It's just going to have the extra bits and pieces on it. So this is the oxide spray, and I'm going to put some of the pumice stone on first. It's a bit nice, and then I'm going to get some of the Kitsch Flamingo on. Oh, I love that. It's just kind of what I was wanting. I wanted a nice sort of sepia tone, sort of a sort of soft pink, but not in your face pink. I like that a lot. So I'm just going to leave that to the side, let it dry. I mean, I might encourage it with the heat gun at some point, but for the minute I'm just going to let it do its thing, and then we will come back to it. Okay, so that is just drying off now. It's so soft and so pretty, just what I'm wanting. Now, the cool thing about oxides is the way they react to water. That's when you get that sort of the real oxidization magic going on. So I'm just going to splatter some water on that so that we can get the effect. I'm managing to get a little bit, making a pig's ear of this. I'm just wanting to splat water on it. I can see it's beginning to do something. And that's just really going to lift. This product was designed to sort of have water on it, and that is where we're going to see the magic happen as you put that water in, and especially as we've got those two colours on, it's going to allow that to sort of run together and do its own thing. See, it's just, oh, look at that, delicious, lovely, lovely, lovely. I keep saying delicious. I think that's maybe because, you know, I'm on a new healthy eating regime. So I'm thinking about food. Actually, the food I've had is very tasty, and I'm only feeling so hungry because I have made such a pig of myself over the past few months, and I'm eating way more than I should be eating, so it's fine. But yeah, actually I'm not too bad today. Yesterday, by this time of the day, I was absolutely starving, but I'm alright. And I still have a few calories left, so I can have a cup of tea before I go to bed, which is delightful. Right. There we go. See how dark that's gone? I mean, where's that dark pink come from? Look at that. And that's because we've added a bit of water and it's reacted and done some stuff. It is just, oxides are just incredible coolness, they really are. So now I've done that, what I'm also going to do is get my sprays again, but instead of spraying, I'll be able to do it with this one, but that one I've not taken the plastic off the bottle far enough, so I'm just going to take it and do that with it. And again, it's just going to add extra interest and stuff to the background. And then I'm hoping that I can manage to dry brush this tonight. As I say, I'm working on quite a tight deadline. I have to get this all in the post on Monday. I also have to get some filming for Hochanda done by Monday, and I've not started that yet either. In all fairness, I did have it all planned, but then I ended up having to take the product that I had got my demo planned with off the website, so now it's sort of a last minute rush to do another demo with something that is on the website. Right, I'm just trying to get this off far enough. The advantage of actually opening your products properly when you get them, instead of just being in such a hurry to use them, not worrying about it too much. Right, so now I've got that, I'm going to sprinkle some of that on too, and I may get a bit of water on there as well in splatter form, and again it just increases the level of interest of what's going on. So I'll give that a little waft, and I will do that off camera, and then we will try and do a bit of dry brushing, and then I'm hoping to maybe get a little bit of souffle on there, and then we will come back to this in the morning. How this is looking, it's so very pretty, so very pretty. Right, I am going to do some dry brushing. I've also already got a bit of gesso on my brush because I've been working on another project, and I'm just going to grab the edges. To be honest, ow, that's quite hot, I've literally just finished heat gunning it. To be honest, this project is quite soft anyway, so it's going to make a very subtle difference, but it is just picking up that bit of texture. It's picking up the texture in the background. And then I'm hoping that I can maybe use, either the paper has got some hearts in it, or the die. Yeah, I'll get a better one there. Let me see, I've got a... We've got this die, so yeah, something with, but there's also a love heart in the paper, which I might use as well. We will see. We will see as the project develops what is going to occur. So I think I am going to grab my rose souffle. I really need to swatch out my souffles properly, to be honest, but yeah, I've not done that yet, so I'm just going to guesstimate at this point and see what we're going to do. So I'm going to take that same, I'm trying to catch the edge of it, that same stencil that we've already used, just trying to go a bit heavier handed with the gesso just down the side here so I can catch the edge of that die. So I'm going to take that same one and I'm going to go through it just maybe slightly off, so that you can see that one and the one beside it, and then I am going to put the souffle through it, and then we'll leave that to dry. So I've decided to go for the Precious Opal, partly because I've played with this one quite a lot and I know this one is really nice and subtle, and I know it will go. I was quite tempted to go for the Rose Quartz, but as I say, I've not really used that overly much, and it might be the wrong shade of pink, which is why I need to properly swatch out. So, as I said, I'm going to go for these circles again, but I'm just going to make sure that they don't align with what we have previously. And we're just going to put some of this through. Now, I may actually heat gun it at some point because I'm working on 2 projects at the minute, so if I can get it 90% dry and carry on with this tonight, that would be fabulous. But we will just see how we go. The thing to realise about it is it'll be fine, but there is a chance that it will dry slightly milky if you use a heat gun on it. I've not experienced that myself, but from the videos that I've watched Anna Hersom do, that is what she has said, and obviously this is her product. So just pop that across like so, and then I might just sort of catch some of the edges of this and bring it in on that as well. This will just give it a really nice, soft, pretty sparkle. And then I'm thinking that we'll use either a heart die or one of the hearts in the papers as a feature. And I possibly might tuck flowers. I've kind of got a nice, pretty, romantic idea. I don't know whether to do something about this, because if you hold it like that, it looks ridiculous. But obviously you don't actually see it when it's like that. So I'm not overly sure. So we're going to let that paste dry now, and then I will be back. Okay, so this one is drying off nicely. I keep saying this one. Honestly, it's because of my brain. I'm working on 2 different projects, but you're not going to be watching it like that. So welcome back. Right, I want to frame this, but I want to frame in white. So I'm just going to grab a bit of gesso with my finger and just sort of emphasise the edges. I must find out where Dawn gets her 13 Arts gesso from, because I can see me needing a new pot fairly soon. So that is sort of blending in. That is one of the things that will happen with gesso. It is blending in and picking up a bit of that pink, partly because it's the nature of gesso. Gesso is not fully opaque, so it's going to sort of, that's what makes layering with it so fun. And also partly because it's probably not 100% dry. I mean, it has been sort of left a little while, but probably for it to be bone dry, we really need to be leaving it overnight, and I'm just too impatient for that. So I'm going to just pop that in like so. And yeah, it's just, so I like to frame things, but because it's pretty and delicate, I really don't want to go in with like black like I normally would. I've still managed to sort of create a frame, but we've just done it with white instead. So it's all good. Right, happy with that, she says, continuing to fiddle. Right, there we go. So, I was toying between, because in my head I had these papers, but I think that's just a bit too bold. I really want soft and pretty, so I'm going to go with the die cut. But I want to blend it in, so I also have the Kitsch Flamingo in oxide. Because why wouldn't you? It was very good. I only bought 3 things. Some of the other girls bought them all. Oh, that's the Distress ink. I was wanting the oxide. Never mind. Look, this paper, honestly, it's had so much in it now. We've got gloss sprays that I've been cleaning off. This is going to make a really fun background at some point. I'm just going to clean that off a little bit because I didn't really want the oxide. Seeing as we've gone with the oxide on that, and I'm just going to catch the edges of this, just so that it ties in and it's not quite so stark. But what I'm also going to do, because I have it on my desk basically, no other reason, because you know I'm not that organised. How many people end up sticking something on a project just because it's on their desk? I've been using vellum in the other thing that I'm working on. I'm not quite sure which is going to go up first. That remains to be seen. But because I've got it on my desk, I was thinking that vellum works really well for soft and pretty, doesn't it? So we could just have a little vellum heart. Now the only problem with that is I would quite like it 3D, but getting a 3D element behind vellum may prove tricky. Actually, probably be best gluing that down first. That would probably make life a whole lot easier. So, oops. And the glue's clogged up, people! There's a surprise! Bet you didn't see that one coming! You know, it's been a whole 5 minutes since I've used it. It was bound to have clogged up. Okay, we have working glue, people. It's all good. So I'm just going to stick a bit of that around here. Dawn has sent me some tonic glue, which I've said I don't know how many times now, and still not sort of put it in with my craft supplies. It's still in the parcel that she sent me, ready for the next Dawn and Julia create. Right, so I'm going to just pop that down. Some of that's scudged out, but hopefully it shouldn't matter too much. And I'm going to, do you know what actually, just doing this has made me want to do a shaker. I mean, obviously I'm not going to do it on this video, am I? Could we have a shaker? I don't know. Bit annoyed that that glue's squirted out. I think I will be adding a glittery edge to that, I think, because I've definitely got glue splodging out. Yeah, I can see me doing a shaker on another project, because just doing that I was like, oh, that would look cool. If I had it with acetate, that would be a bit cool. It's going to be a bit painful putting 3D on it, but you know, honestly, what a mess I've made of that. Right, but I'm thinking that looks, oops, something like that looks quite nice. In fact, actually, I might not put 3D element on that, because we've got all that texture and things coming through. We've got sparkles and stuff coming through, which I think actually looks really, really nice. So I'm just going to try and scrape some of the excess glue off here. As I said, I think what we will do is we'll add an element of sparkle, and that'll disguise that. I'm just going to clean that and then we'll pop it on. I am really, really liking this, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue around the edges, a tiny bit just by the V, so that we don't see too much. But I am also, because we've got all that detail going on behind it, which is cool, that's going to just distract the eye, but I've obviously caught thumbs and all sorts of things going on there. Actually, I've done that a bit higher, I think. Put that there. So what I've got is, I've got my Crafter's Companion Spectrum Noir. Is it a Spectrum Noir? Yeah, Spectrum Noir Sparkle. Love these things, and it's just the clear one. This is a great thing. I don't think you can have too many of these. So I'm actually going to put it over the entire thing, and as I said, that is going to distract from any thumbprints and glue spillages that we've got. This seems to be on its last legs. I do have a few more in various places. Quite where they are residing in just this particular second, I don't know. Oh, it's going to be one of those days for me, isn't it? Right, I'm going to see if I can find another one. I've got one that's working much better. Thankfully, this is one of those items that I buy like in triplicate. Yeah, so that's just adding a real glittery overlay over the whole thing, and that any sort of glue smudges or finger smudges, it's just going to disguise that just a little bit. So that is that. I'm thinking a couple of little flowers might be quite nice, but we've also got this die here. So actually we could just have, managed to splatter all sorts on these, we could just have a few of these. I'm wondering whether maybe a bit of pink thread or something just wrapped around might be quite nice. So we could have something like that and just actually keep it really simple. So this is the thing with your dies, feel free to just snip in, make them your own, which I think I'm quite happy with that. Maybe I'll have two just coming down here. like so. I will need a white gel pen to doodle something in them because I really don't want black on this project. Normally I have black on every project, but definitely do not want it on this one. I knew that with certainty. I don't know whether to keep those white or whether to give them a little edge. At the minute do you know what, I'm going to give them edge and sparkle, why not? Like so. And I'm also wondering whether I've got some pink thread. Do I have a pale pink one? Yeah, I do. I'm just wondering whether bits of pale pink thread would be quite nice. Oops. So taking this and then wrapping it around a few times. Like so. And then I could just snip that, and then I will get a little bit of tape and just to secure that. So I just need to make sure we've got the ends secured, and then we can cover that with either, I mean obviously we've got this so it makes it a bit more difficult, but look at the name tag or something, we can disguise that. There we go. I think that just adds a lovely extra little element to it. So I'm going to get my Kitsch Flamingo and just ink these little hearts. Sorry, my chair's rubbing against the where I sit. It's causing a very strange noise, which I don't think we need. Right, so we'll do that, and then we will add sparkle. And then we can attach those, and then I think we can probably call this one done. You should see what I'm working on right now. It is such a contrast to this. It's like I've got two projects on the go tonight, and they are totally polar opposite to each other. Totally flooding this one now, I've got that much on that pen. Right, so we will grab a bit of glue and oops, stick that there. Oops. There we go. One, two, we have to have odd numbers, so we've got 4 hearts so far, so we need to make that 5. There we go. Oh, it's so pretty! Right, let me see if I've got a white pen, if they will be able to be seen over all of this mixed media-ness going on. And then I think it's time for my bed. So let's just see if we can get it. Yeah, it's not hugely noticeable, but it will be alright. It's got quite a few different mediums to get over, so yeah, this one's struggling a bit more. You shouldn't really do this to your pens. It's fine when it's all dry, but this isn't fully dry, and I know that, so I probably should be finishing it off in the morning, but I'm being impatient and I want to have it finished. So yeah, something along the lines of that. You can actually see it, it is standing out. When I look up to the camera, it's seeing it. Right, I'm just going to quickly clear my My desk actually needs washed. I am desperate for shops to properly open. I want a new table mat. I tried to order one from IKEA, but it's like it's such a long way for it to come. And then like delivery was April anyway, so I was thinking hopefully it might open and I can send somebody to get me one. Okay, so that is that project all finished. So a bit different. I mean, I know you can't see what it looks like. I'll have to change the camera angle. Maybe I'll take a photo and insert it. But that'll sit up like that, and it's just a lovely little... Do you know what? Actually, before I go, I've changed my mind. I do want it framed a bit more. I don't think the white is quite strong enough, so I'm just going to grab my gold gilding wax and just give it a little gold frame, because yeah, I like things framed, and I like it because I don't want it black. I definitely want it subtle, but it's just almost too subtle that I can't see the frame. Like so, I'm just going to put a little bit on my finger, tap it off, and I want to go quite canny, but at the same time I also want it to be quite definite. The fabulous thing about this wax is it is furniture grade, so having it, you know, because this is like a home decor piece, isn't it? So it's fine that it's not over. Yeah, I can already see that I'm going to like that much more. I can also see that there's a bit of a thread loose there, which I will have to rectify before I send it off to TV land. Okay. Yeah, I'm already happier. I'm so glad I actually made that decision. I'm sorry that I made you feel like you were free. Like I'd finally finished. But no. But isn't that how we all craft? We kind of sit there and think, yeah, that's it, and then at the last minute we change our mind. Well, that's okay. It's good to know it's okay to change our mind. Right, as I said, I want it quite solid on the actual edges, like it was an actual furniture frame. I forgot to do this side on this side. And then what I will also do is, once I have done that final side, we will get a rag and just buff it up slightly. Like, and then I am going to fall into bed. I have been busy. Well, I wouldn't say I've been busy crafting all day actually. I was editing this morning. I was editing the Dawn and Julia Crate, so that kind of took out. I've not actually started crafting until after dinner, but considering how much I've actually got to do, I probably should have got started on it sooner. So I think it's going to be another late night tomorrow, but it's alright. All good. Here we go. It's fab, and that gold works really well because it ties in with those sparkles that we got from the souffle. And I just think this is really soft and pretty. Probably very different from what Emma's expecting, because she's a bit like me. She likes bold and bright, but two things, because it's got that love thing, it's suited a sort of soft, pretty romantic thing, and it also shows you that these dyes, though they were sort of like designed as sort of an arty, in your face, bold colour sort of thing, that you can take them in whatever direction that you want to. And also these are a new purchase. The Kitsch Flamingo is a new purchase, and I'm just enjoying playing with my new toys, quite frankly. Right, I'm going to grab another bit of sellotape because there's a bit of thread that's just a bit loose there. Then we can maybe zoom in and take another look. Just needs to be pulled a bit tighter. Okay, so let's take a little zoom in. Okay, that's us all done. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed making that little frame with me today. If you have enjoyed it here, please do consider liking and subscribing, and I'll be back again with some more crafty goodness very soon. Okay, take care then, and goodbye!